Okay, well I made me a scope buggy for my mounts. Specifically EQ6R is on here now, but any of my mounts will fit on it. It's not adjustable, but you can extend the legs slightly and they'll fit into the holes. I've got a steering wheel at the front, obviously. I've got it mounted. This turnbuckle will keep the scope from trying to tip back where the weights are. Each one has each scope leg has a turnbuckle on it, and this is a 2-inch pipe hanger from Lowe's, and it's got 3/8 inch threads. The turnbuckle has 3/8 inch threads, though the hook is the left-handed threads, and then obviously the threaded rod cut to whatever length you want. This gives it slight tension, keeping it mounted down on here. I made these 36 inches apart, which on the EQ6R just had to extend the legs slightly on each one of them to center it up. I did make it to where I could take it apart, so I did bolt it there instead of welding it, so I can take that crossbar apart and easy to store. The tires are pneumatic tires over there from Harbor Freight. They were only like $4 a piece. They do wonderful across. I can pull this across my yard or my rough driveway. My driveway's pretty rough, and I don't like it beating the scope up. So here in a second I will try to show the materials that I used. Okay, here's kind of the materials that I used for everything. For all of the square tubing, it's 2-inch by 2-inch by 1/8 inch thick. A little difficult to drill on, but it's very strong, and I didn't want to take any chances with this. For the rings that the legs go into, that's just some 2-inch pipe. I found some scrap. I did angle it slightly, so I cut them on a slight angle. Like I said, these are placed 36 inches apart, which has me extend the legs on my EQ6R just an inch or so. On my AVX, I have to extend them out a couple of inches. The main support here for the front wheel is 1/8 inch thick 2-inch steel. It's a little bit difficult to make these two bends, but I got them done. All of these, the axles for these wheels is just 5/8 inch steel rod. You cut them whatever length you want. And on one side of the wheel here I had to make a spacer, and also there's a spacer here. This rod is running through. I welded it underneath, and then right here this is 7/8 outer diameter, 5/8 inch inner diameter, so it made a sleeve to fit the front axle in, and that worked out really well. I found this on eBay for about $5. These are 3/4 inch threaded rod. Underneath I welded a nut, so those go through that, and I went ahead and welded a nut on the top, and whenever I get it where I want it, I can cinch it down with that bolt. But the nut on the bottom is welded on, and that's what supports each of the 3/4. These are just turnbuckles from Lowe's, $3-4 a piece. Of course, this end's left-handed threads, and those are right-handed threads, and that's just 3/8 inch threaded rod. And I just cut it whatever length I wanted, and it's probably about that long in there. Just got a bolt to hold it. I went ahead and used some Velcro just to keep anything from getting marred. All three of the turnbuckles are the same. I believe they're $3 or $4 at Lowe's. Threaded rod, $5 or $6 for a piece of it. The 2x2 tubing and the 5/8 inch rod that I made the axles for was all about $100 for all that steel. And when I put the axles on the back, I went ahead and ran the axle instead of just welding it on the inside. I drilled holes all the way through and welded it on the inside and the outside, so that axle's on there really strong. I could cut them off a little bit more, but there's not really any need to. Like I said, I did bolt this together with 1/2-inch bolts, so I can take it apart and store it if I need to. Wheels are just held in with cotter pins. Took me about a day and a half to weld it up and paint it and everything. The handle's just a piece of threaded rod, and this handle brace is 16th inch steel, so it was much easier to bend. It's just got a couple bolts holding it in place, and then I just got the tubing, and it works really well. I'm very happy with it. Make it much easier on my back. If anybody has any questions, feel free to send me something in the comment. I'll answer it if I can. Take up closer pictures. I may put several pictures at the end of this video, and maybe a materials list of what I used. I believe I wound up using 12 feet of the 2x2 square tubing, so I actually bought 20 feet, so I bought a little bit more than I needed. But anyway, if you want to make one, do it yourself.